Hey guys, alright, now I'm doing Ghost Part 2. If you've seen first part, you'll understand the second part. So if you have ended my first part, you will understand that Mary and this boy are no longer ghosts, but demons. So I get home about a week later. Me and my friends were I had a friend named Andrew and a friend named Sarah, and we were all hanging out in my drive. They were in my driveway, and we were talking and stuff, and having a good time talking and shit. And we're sitting in the van, and all of a sudden the van starts rocking, and we're not moving. All of a sudden the van starts rocking, and I see something run past the window. I'm like, get out of the car, just get out of the car. Don't even ask, just go. We get out of the car. Bad idea. The fucking little boy is sitting on top of the van and just sitting there and has this evil little smirk and just like crazy, like craziest look, and his eyes are blacked out. I was speechless. I looked at him. I'm like, go in the house. Just go in the house. So we all get in the house. This little boy and Mary are running from from the front door, going across, and you just see their like little heads. You just see like this much of their body, like this up, and they're running from one part of the front house to the other end, looking in at us, and we're just sitting there like, um, what? Uh, Mom, come help us! My mom comes upstairs. They're gone, gone. Now, from what I understand, I started going into a shock mode where I'm shaking and I couldn't stop shaking. I'm like, my mom gives me this medication to make me stop, like, to bring me out of the shock. And I'm just like, what just happened? What just, what, what just happened? And I'm like, my friends are gone. I'm like, Mom, where'd they go? And they're like, you want to just shock? They left because they freaked the hell out. And I'm like, what happened? What's going on? You know, it was over and done with. Within like 20 minutes, I was done. Well, granted to say, I didn't see them for a while. You know, after I started going to therapy and started talking to therapists, and they put me on this medication, so I couldn't see ghosts or spirits. So I stopped taking them because they were making me gain weight. So the first ghost after I started seeing them was when my grandpa died. Um, I was laying in bed and I had gone to bed early for some reason. My grandpa was sick with cancer, so I kind of, passed out, not thinking it was like any other day. And I'd woken up for my phone, or like the house phone ringing at like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm just like, oh, what's going on, you know? And before I'd woken up, I had a dream of me and my grandpa never talked. He was always busy with the other kids. Like there was like he had 7 children of his own, and then he had their husband and wives, and then he had the grandchildren. So he never really talked to me because I was the outsider of the family. But he came up. Well, I passed out, and he comes up to me and he's like, I know we never really talked, but I would like to talk to you now and you know get to know you a little bit better, before my time ends. And I kind of looked at him and I'm like, okay, well, we're on the beach, which is what, like, my favorite spot is the beach. I don't know why. I love the beach so much, but I love the beach. And me and him were talking, and I kind of, like, I didn't know anything of it. And I'm young. I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, so what's new in your life? And I'm like, oh, I like boys, and I like this boy, and I like this boy, and I like this boy. And he, you know, it wasn't really long lived. It was just kind of like, I told him about my life and how I felt. And that's when my mom had woken me up and she told me Grandpa has passed. And I looked at her and I'm like, you will never guess the dream I just had. And I told her the dream and she's like, he came and visited you. He knew he wanted to talk to you. And that's what really kind of broke my heart, kind of, because like we never really did talk, and we actually started talking. But yeah, that's it was weird because I know that was his spirit talking to me because it was true. We never talked, and we finally talked, and I let everything out, and that is when I get the call that he had passed. So I think like that's like one of the good spirits I've seen. My grandpa. Um, but that's pretty much the good thing I've seen. Um, After that, things went downhill. Well, living with, I went to visit my dad the next summer, and there's this thing that's called like, it's the annual pig roast, where everybody goes to this one house and they bring their campers, they bring everything, and it's like this house in the middle of nowhere with cornfields surrounding it. Well, there's a whole bunch of little kids, we're all just kind of like sitting around the campfire, and all of a sudden we see, I swear to fucking God, it was a fucking werewolf. Don't fucking play with me. I know what I saw. It was a fucking werewolf. But what had happened was, it was kind of in the dark, but I saw something legit run like a fucking gorilla. It looked like a fucking gorilla. No fucking lie. Running with red eyes, running from one end of the cornfield, because it was like, here's the house, then like along the sides there's like a cornfield, and then it goes off to this area, and then there's like a big open field, and then there's a cornfield on this side, cornfield on this side, and there's a cornfield right here. I saw something come from the one that was closest to our house, to the house, run across the field and run into the other one. 10 minutes later, a fucking guy with no shirt on and ripped pants came out of that fucking cornfield where that fucking thing went in. So don't tell me fucking werewolves don't exist. Bullshit. They fucking exist. So that was the one crazy fucking night. I was fucking going crazy. No one believes that story from me, by the way, but fuck off, people. So, anyways, oh, I got an itch on my foot. Okay. So, you know, after a while, it gets kind of, start talking to my dad, and my dad fucking was drunk. And you know when drunk people are fucking drunk because they fucking split the truth? We were talking, and I remember him telling me, don't look for your guardian. What do you mean, don't look for my guardian? And he looked at me, he's like, don't look for your guardian. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I never wanted to say this to you or anybody else in the family, but when you were 6 months old, my dad used to be a Satan worshiper, let's put it that way. He said when each of my siblings, I have two sisters and a brother. He said when we were all 6 months, he took us, he did a fucking, he put us in a fucking, whatever that fucking pentagram, and he did a fucking worship on us. And the guardian, which we're not supposed to find out or know about, is supposed to save us from this demon. They're telling me when I was 6 months old, you put me in a pentagram and did a fucking worship on me. That's great to know, Dad. Thanks for that. So we talked about it, and not believing him, I kind of looked through, I did research on it, and I do have a guardian, but I guess I figured it out. my guardian is a bat. And since I found that out, I've been seeing demons ever since. So I see demons and ghosts and spirits of all kinds. Everything. So we learned that my sisters, my brother, and our one cousin are not allowed to be in the same area at once. Because that is when the demon shows itself and tries to kill us all. We had a sleepover one night, and my brother was he slept down the hall, so it was like my cousin, my sisters, and I, and we're sitting there and we're talking, and all of a sudden we hear my little brother comes in, and he had this look on his face, the most evil, menacing look on his face, and he looked at me, and we're like, "What are you doing on bed? Go back to bed." He's like, "Fred told me to kill you." Who? Who? What? The man in my closet told me to come kill you. Come here. I grabbed on my bro, and I'm like, hold him. I'm the oldest, so I have to protect everyone. So I go looking down the hall. Sure enough, fucking black mask with the big ass hat, with like the big ass rim and shit, and all black. And I looked, I closed my door. I'm like, "You're sleeping here tonight." So he goes to bed. We're all talking. Me and the girls are talking, and all of a sudden, we look out our window, and there was like we had blinds, but we'd cut off like a little hole, like a little box to see if when the boys came over, we could talk to them or see them when they came over. And they were like we saw a face with red eyes glowing, looking in at us. And we quickly put something over. I'm like, we need to do something. We need to hide. So I got them all to go to bed. We called my best friend up and we talked to him about it, and he kind of calmed us down a little bit because girls being hectic. And so that is their story about being fucking demons. I will tell you the next in part 3. So watch it if you like to know more about demons and ghosts and my experiences with them.